If you are up for a culinary adventure, today we are going to explore Nuevo Cuban cuisine. It's a lighter, healthier, more stylized version of traditional Latin cooking. Chef John Verlinden was inspired to learn about the Cuban culture and cuisine from his mother-in-law. In his cookbook, To Cook is to Love is not only filled with recipes inspired by old world Cuba, but it is also filled with stories and illustrations to capture your palate, senses, and soul. I like the sound of this.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm very proud of To Cook Is to Love. It's been a labor of love to put it together.
I bet. And tell us a little bit about your mother-in-law who inspired you so much.
Well, you know, I think she is, an ordinary woman who did extraordinary things. We all have these powerful matriarchs in our families, that came to the United States and just pushed back all the barriers and made everything possible for their family. And that is Aida's story. She's just a really remarkable woman who had great faith and wouldn't let anything stand in her way.
And you've owned a couple Cuban restaurants.
Yes.
This isn't your first rodeo here.
No, indeed. We established the first Cuban-American restaurant in the heart of Boston, Mucho Gusto Cafe, and we had a wonderful run there. And it was really when we decided to sell the restaurant that the book was born. As I was planning to do a little booklet for our customers, as a little going away present, and I thought it'd be nice to have a story from Aida in there. So I sat down to interview Aida, and then she told me about her life. Exactly, and that's how that little booklet became this giant book.
That beautiful book, but it's obviously not just recipes. We have stories.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's her story, it's her life story, and the recipes fall from the story.
I see.
And in addition to her story and about 200 recipes, so it's a big book. Wow. We have little information boxes about all the ingredients, how to prepare them, how to find them. We have little essays about cooking with children. Shopping on a budget, so it's a complete
covered the bases
guide.
Here.
Indeed.
All right, so today we are cooking a garlic shrimp, right?
That's
I'm going to have you deal with the shrimp because I'm a little intimidated by it.
Sure.
But you have a little oil in the pan, right?
We've got our olive oil in the pan, and you can see it's starting to emit a nice aroma now.
Yes.
So we're going to add our garlic, and notice I've cut the garlic in little slivers,
almost, right?
And this is both so that it'll cook rapidly, but also it's gonna make our dish look really pretty when we're done.
Well, that's important, right?
Indeed. Oh, yeah, because we with our eyes first. So having presenting a dish is equally as important. How it looks is equally as important as how it tastes. And we also include a number of suggestions in the book about presentation, including how to set a beautiful party table, and how to decorate trays with different. So you can see our garlic is starting to sizzle there. So I'm going to go ahead and add our shrimp.
And it's okay to keep the tails on, right?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think we've all gotten pretty accustomed to tail on shrimp, and I think that it gives it a nice, really. Kind of old world look when it's presented, and it's a great little handle for eating shrimp. So no utensils required.
Just get right into it.
Exactly.
How funny is this? I have to show this because this is probably the best oven mitt I've ever seen.
A friend of mine gave me that.
It is so funny.
I'm very. It is pretty funny. It's a woman's hand on one side and a man's hand on the other.
There you go. Love and hate. Okay.
And it's. I'm going to go ahead and add just such a simple recipe, some salt.
Okay. And shrimp doesn't take too long to cook.
No, it's terrific. And also the thing about shrimp that it's so easy to overcook shrimp, and that's the mistake that most people make. We want it to be. We'll know it's ready when the shrimp turns pink and curls up.
Okay.
It's. Looking to be ready on one side, so I'm just going to turn those over.
Okay. John, any standout stories from your mother-in-law?
My favorite story, and this was actually the first story that Aida told me when we sat down to talk about the book. I said, Aida, how did you learn to cook? And she said, well, honey, God taught me how to cook. and then she proceeds to tell about how it was her wedding day. It was after she had just returned from her wedding, and they were just settling into their apartment, and she was going to have to make the meal for her husband for the first time. And
That's very intimidating.
Yes, and she had been, she had told him that she knew how to cook and that she was going to make all these special things for him. But this was actually her first meal.
That's funny. I did the same thing.
So she went to her mother-in-law's house for a little advice, and her mother-in-law suggested that she make arroz con pollo, which is chicken and rice.
Okay.
And she said, "It's my son loves it, and it's so easy to prepare." And arroz con pollo is easy to prepare in 21st century America, because we can get our chicken all cut up, all wrapped up, marinated, everything we like. But in 1950s Cuba, the arroz con pollo began with a live chicken in the backyard.
Oh my God.
And so that's where Aida's adventure begins, when she talks about how God helped her through that first meal, everything from harvesting the main dish to getting everything just right at the end of the meal.
That's great.
So it's great, and there are lots of wonderful stories. And I'm going to go ahead, our shrimp are just about done. I'm going to go ahead and add our lime juice at this point.
Ooh, okay. It smells delightful.
Thank you.
Now, you said in the beginning of the segment you could serve this over rice, you could serve it over
yes.
pasta, lots of options, really.
Oh, absolutely. We're gonna serve it over rice today, but yes, it's wonderful, equally wonderful over pasta. It's great. You can make. We could add at this point. We could add some vegetables, maybe some broccoli or asparagus to go with our dish, and so it's a very versatile dish, and it keeps well in the refrigerator if you have leftovers.
Oh, I like it.
And you also, my favorite way to use leftovers is, and I have about a half dozen recipes in my book, is to make empanadas.
Oh, sure.
And these are little pastries that we fill with wonderful little
leftovers
bits of things. Yeah, to me, it's the proof that the reincarnation people had it right. You come back better the second time.
There you go. All right, John, we're going to taste this at the end of the show. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
being here. And still to